This was one of our regular visits to Church Farm at Skegness, and at this particular weekend we went to, it was an American themed encampment of World War II. It was very interesting. There were lots of equipment and some demonstrations later on in the day.
Jeeps.
I was talking to one of the participants and he was telling me that most of the equipment, what they wear and drive, etc., is all wartime original. It must be very expensive these days collecting military, especially original. I mean, in the 1970s and 80s, I used to collect military myself, and even then it was very expensive. So, what it must be now, it must be horrendous. It was a little bit quiet at this time because we really got here fairly early, so people hadn't really started appearing. And it was a very warm, quiet and still day, as you can tell by the flag, hardly a breeze.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna look at that, so.
And we're just now making our way down to the traction engine at the rear of the buildings.
To go back out.
This traction engine is called Bob. It was built in 1892 by Richard Hornsby and Son of Grantham. It was exported to Tasmania along with 7 others in February of the same year. While working in Tasmania, Bob, the traction engine, had 3 owners before retiring to become the main attraction in a children's playground. He was purchased for the Museum of Lincolnshire Life and brought back to England for restoration in 1988. We always make a small donation every time we visit the traction engine. While looking round the traction engine, the gentleman in charge asked me if I'd like to go up onto the footplate, which I didn't hesitate, and I was up there like a rat down a drain pipe.
Fantastic.
As some of people may know that I'm really well into steam.
But they did the job, didn't they?
Fascinating
Pulled the
to
weight,
look on the footplates. It's totally different to a locomotive. The gentleman was a mine of information. Any question you asked him, he was only too eager to answer.
So you need your foot in that trough by the
As
door.
this was the Saturday we visited, I believe he said that the following day on Sunday it would be in steam.
It was one-handed. One was holding him still and the other one was doing the job. And you'll know if you've got steam loco about water glasses and such like.
That's right, yeah.
And now we're back in the main encampment area. And here's a smart young soldier on sentry duty. It would be young men like this that'd be on the beaches in Normandy in 1944. And this soldier's about to get a real dressing down by his corporal.
This is the United States Army. We are over here in England to set an example. We are their allies. They have been fighting this war for 4 years. As far as they're concerned, we are Johnny-come-lately. They have no feeling of us as fighting men as it is. What we do not need is people like you setting a bad example, showing them that what they are thinking is absolutely correct. You are on sentry duty. You are part of the 28th Infantry Division. You are not Robin Hood and his merry men in his tights. The next time you go play Robin Hood with bows and arrows, I will dress you up in tights. Do you understand?
Yes, Corporal.
Now, before you resume your sentry duty, I want you to go around these nice British people and say, I apologize for being such a sad sack. Go to every table. Do you understand me?
Yes, Corporal.
Do it now.
I apologize for being such a sad sack. I apologize for being such a sad sack. I apologize for being such a sad sack.
But when I was down south, that is about the best I've seen up here now. Like small. Well, if I get 3 of those, then we've always got, because we had nothing that we could kind of get over.
I just wanted to check because I haven't actually seen.
Just make sure you're away from the vehicles because that's a better thing.
That's why I just lit up next to it.
Yeah, so we're going to get school.
Where have you got a spare?
Well, thanks.
Well, the soldier's back on sentry duty. Hopefully he won't get a dressing down this time.
Yeah.
So it's been 2 years, and I reckon, well, I think for definite slightly leaking.
Yeah.
So we were leaking every time we had a slightly leaking.
Is yours going?
The gas is okay.
Yeah.
So we get those smaller ones, and then we can get them.
Just like that, we're in Vietnam.
Adrian, what was that?
This is a very interesting exhibit in this section about farming methods and various things about livestock. Well, the next section here was a shock and a pleasant surprise for me, being an ex-militaria collector. Couldn't believe what I was seeing when I went here. It's absolutely crammed with exhibits, militaria, World War I and World War II. I've never seen as much in one area. As a militaria collector in the 60s and 70s, this brought back a lot of memories to me, because I used to collect quite a variety of militaria, from uniforms, medals, badges, helmets, World War I, World War II and other wars. It made me feel like I want to start collecting again. The trouble is today that prices are so expensive for original items, and the market is currently flooded with lots of fakes, so you've got to be very, very careful. In the 60s and 70s when I were collecting, prices weren't too bad, and there weren't as many fakes about. But even then, you had to be on your toes. I was looking for the proprietor, but he wasn't in sight. I wanted to have a word with him about some of the things on display. Absolutely amazing, the amount of gear that was on display. I just hope he had some security cameras in position, because they want a soul about. Well, I could have easily spent an hour or more in here having a look at this gear. Well, I've been to some military displays over the years, and I've never really seen anything as comprehensive as this in one place. I just hope there was some good security cameras about, strategically placed, because they want a soul about anywhere.
On the 21st of February 1916, the German bombardment began.
And so, even though he thought he could lead France right, and he hit France very hard, he did not do so. He in fact roused France's patriotism to an extent that had never been seen before.
The Battle of Verdun went on until November. Each side suffered some 350,000 casualties. Of these, around 100,000 from both France and Germany.
When I was a military collector, I once bought one of these shells at a fair, an arms fair in Leeds, and I didn't have no transport then, and boy did I have trouble getting that home. The weight, I didn't realise it was so heavy. Well, I've actually shown the full clip of this this exhibition. I haven't cut any out because I thought it might be of interest to anyone who's into military collecting.
The artillery bombardment would be so enormous they'd only have to climb out of their...
Another interesting area we're just about to enter, the saddlery. Right, we're just on our way now to the main farm building, which is of great interest. The first place we're going to have a look at actually is the washroom. I think it's called the washroom. And the old mangle there, and the dolly tub, and various other things what we use for doing all the laundry. Old tin bath at the back. This is into the main farm building now, where we're going into one of the rooms. This could probably be the dining room, which is nicely laid out as of period. There's a nice ham hung from the ceiling. That maid didn't say a right lot. Various things laid out on tables. There's the old range. The oil lamp there, which would have been used in the period. Oh, I believe this is the pantry. Or it could be even kitchen. Not really sure. Looks more like a kitchen. The old knife sharpener there, I believe. More equipment. Or kitchen utensils. It's amazing the amount of the variety of kitchen utensils in the old days. All very practical. It's really nice to come to places like these where everything is nicely preserved as things were used in the past. It's okay looking in books and reading about items like this and places, but it's different when you can actually interact with the things themselves. It does make a lot of difference and provides more interest. And here's another room which we're in, with the table all laid out for dinner. There's another old type fireplace. I wonder if this is just laid out as a different period. It looks like it were with the mannequin stood at the corner. Oh, I know a friend that could possibly use one of these. Right, just about to go up the stairs to the upper floors, the bedrooms. A whopping great big wardrobe at the top of the stairs. And a washstand there with a wash basin and jugs. Very nice. Everything nicely preserved here. And the old bedpan warmer there, and the old porcelain hot water bottle. I remember using one of these when I was a nipper in the 50s. Mother always put one in at the bottom of the bed. And a tab rug there, were very common at one time. Oh, the old potty there underneath. Right, I'm just going to go across here and have a look in this other room. I think the other room is it's the nursery. What strikes me is on these old toys of these periods, they were always well made, always nice looking, and they've lasted all this time, so they must have been well made. A nice big doll's house at the back there. Lots of luggage in this small box room. I believe on the info it said that this would have been used by the maid. This was the maid's room. Not much room for them. And this is preserved as a school room. The old desks there. Boy, I do remember these type of old desks when I was a kid at school. One of my jobs used to be going around filling the ink wells up. Happy days. Just have a wander along here now. Back through the nursery and into, I think this is possibly a cloakroom, not too sure. This is, I believe this is where you can actually try these period clothes on. The beauty of this exhibition is that you can actually touch the stuff, or most of it, and where a lot of places you can't, you're completely roped off, but at least in this this exhibition you can actually really interact with stuff. Now we're just coming out of the rear entrance and into the apple orchard. And if you notice, you'll see some apples suddenly drop off a tree. There we go. Well, that was the end of our visit to the event at Church Farm, and here we are in the small garden at the side of the restored cottage. The lovely thatch roof there, which has been lovely restored after a serious fire some while back. Well, I hope you found this of interest, and thanks for watching.